It's Rob Rush, and as you can see, I am joined by my good buddy. We've had him on a number of times on 94.3 The Shark on Zoom, on the air, and now you get to see him again on Zoom, Mr. Bobby Funaro, Robert Funaro, known professionally. You may know him as Eugene from The Sopranos. And if you love The Sopranos, you, my friend, are coming back to Long Island on the 18th of April.
Absolutely. We'll be there between, wait a second, let me see, 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Yeah, I got the
8,
info
10.
too, just in case. So we
Yeah.
both got each other covered.
Great to be back. We had such a great success on the first one that JD Sanantakos, he said, let's do another. And Andrew Frank, of course, the Andrew Frank group, they said, let's do
Sure.
another. So we're doing another with another surprise guest.
I hear. And so, what if you are not aware, what we're talking about is a night with the cast of The Sopranos. It's going to be the 18th of April at the Bellmore. It's called the Bellmore Movies and Showplace in Bellmore, and it's going to be Bobby, as you see right there. You're also going to have Jason Serbone, who played Jackie Jr. You have Dan Harris, who played the agent, FBI agent. I forgot what his name was in the. No, Agent
Yeah,
Harris.
Agent Harris.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Yes,
Dan Grimaldi played Patsy Parisi,
correct.
and the Agent Harris. His real name is again.
Matt Savito.
Matt Servito, that's right. So you have all
Yeah,
those guys and a special guest. And
yeah.
you can get tickets at eventbrite.com, or you can just Google A Night with the Cast of The Sopranos and it will take you right to the page. And you've been pretty busy because you were actually not too long ago in this very parking lot. Was it back in November? You because for your book at Stu Leonard's?
Yes, we did the Homemade by Robert Funaro book. We were trying to get the other Stu Leonard's. So it
Okay.
was a great time at Stu's and giving out the recipes and do a signing. It was just a great time, and it's been a really pleasure to write that book with Andrew and James McCusker, their co-writers. But basically my concept of the book, and it's been really a great run, and we're still selling books, so we're still in business. Homemade by Robert Funaro on Amazon.
Make sure you get it. You know, it's funny. Did you see, was Stu Leonard there when you were at the event? Or have you
I
met
don't,
him before?
I never met him, but I heard he's a nice guy, and,
Oh,
and
he's a
the
great guy. You know,
the
you should
people are really
ask him
great.
because Stu Leonard's was mentioned in The Sopranos in that one episode where Christopher has the intervention, and the guy that is supposed to be holding the intervention, I guess, was in the series. He was only on once, but he's his character was supposed to be, I guess, a runaround guy. And Christopher
Yeah,
was something like, "Hey, weren't you the guys? Didn't you steal the steaks from Stu Leonard's or something like that?" So you should bring that up
that's
if
right. I
you
remember that. Right.
yeah, if you go
Yeah.
back, you should bring that up
Yeah.
to him. I mean, a
Yes.
lot of these things you might forget. And what's the biggest question or what's the biggest I guess answer that you had to give to somebody at a question that they had for you at one of these events that you totally forgot about? Like, do you remember when you did this?
Well, it's always comes down to that hanging scene,
Mhm.
the one that I did. How did it feel? How did it feel? Was that how did they get you up there? How come they left you up there so long? It just, it really comes down to that one. Oh, that
Yeah.
episode, but people recognize me in the sense that they can identify with a person that wants to get out from underneath something or somebody, uh, and he can't do it. Just life and circumstances don't allow it.
Have you
And
ever
in
signed a
this
members
case,
only jacket?
one of my regrets is not. I think I have. I have signed one. But one of my regrets was not asking James because he was my good friend. That I didn't just really think in the finality of things and the
Mm.
longevity of not procuring. Well, I really don't want to say it because if I find one at a yard sale, I'll say it's a members only jacket. No, I didn't get the jacket. I was really wasn't thinking ahead. And James would have given it to me. I mean,
Yeah.
he would because he get me. I scored some good suits, some great swag because of James. He used to come up to me and say, "You like that suit?" I say, "Yeah, well, don't worry. I'll talk to the costumes."
Yeah, that's
And
everything that,
that's
you've
good.
said in the past and all the other actors that I know of from the show that said in the past that he was just a caring, giving guy. I just spoke to Robert Patrick, who was played the role of David Scatino, I think was his name, the gambling
Yeah.
guy. And Robert Patrick's known for playing these tough guys, and in this show, he was this kind of weakling guy, as he says, a guy that gets smacked around. And he said that James was, probably one of the greatest scene partners that he ever had.
Yeah, oh, he was a very giving actor. I consider him one of the top 10 actors in my book because of his depth and his inner person, how he was able to transcend that on screen. I always thought when I saw him prior, because we did Streetcar Named Desire, and then in Europe for 3 months, and then we came back. I explained that in the book. And then some time passed, 7, 8 years. But I would see him from time to time in things like True Romance and some
Yeah.
other things. And I say, you know what? There's something about James that's so cinematic in terms of his visuality. And it proved me right that he was on his way to really becoming something of a household name, although that's another story. But, you know,
Yeah. So
be careful what you ask for
you can't,
sometimes.
well, exactly. I know that. What is the biggest thing though? Because you're such a good guy, man, and I love talking to you. I love hanging out with
Thank you,
you.
Rob. You're a good guy too. You're one of the good guys.
I got my moments. But
We all do. We all do.
what is the best thing that you guys get out of this? Like you, Jason, Dan, Matt, your surprise guests. I mean, because you could come and I'm sure you get to hear different stories from people, but a lot of the same questions. But what's the biggest thing that you get out of it? Is it like, what's the most self-fulfilling thing that you walk away on a night at the Bellmore Movies and Showplace and say, you know what? I'm glad I did this.
Uh, First of all, it's a pleasure to be with the guys, and now we're four. We're the Fab Four
Fab
now.
Four,
It's,
yeah,
Matt adds a great element to our company in the
yeah,
sense of going around. I guess the greatest thing is to take pictures with for your people who buy the VIP ticket, talk to them and take a selfie with them, answer questions. That interaction, it's like you're giving back to people who really appreciated you. I guess that's the biggest thing to kind of receive that as a gift, their appreciation and knowing that, we are approachable and real people with real lives besides our TV life.
hmm,
But to see the smiles on their face when they see us, especially the young people who the other generations, which happened a lot during COVID, maybe two more generations started watching. Their parents allowed them to view Sopranos and to see the smile on their faces when they see us up close. So it's a great feeling. Um, yeah, and also, being at a premiere like I was the other day, and someone coming up to me and saying, "I really loved your character. It was great." And, it's good. It happens
nice.
from time to time, not all the time, but when it does, it's a nice feeling. You think back, in high school or back before you really made it professionally, so to say, and you never would think that you'd be. So it's a great feeling.
Yeah,
You know,
and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Like I'm sincere
thank
about
you.
that, man.
Thank
You're
you.
doing something else though, at the Bellmore Movie and Showplace. It's going to be on April 10th. Are you doing? Tell me about this.
It's called Once a Week for Life, and it's produced and directed and written by George Zouvelos. I have to say his name correct. He's my Greek friend
Yeah.
from Astoria. I always think of Telly Savalas when I think of him,
Yes,
and
who loves you, baby?
Stavros. But we did go to Telly's Tavern in Astoria as a rap party, and it was terrific. The story itself, Once a Week for Life, is a haunting story about one man who was an ex-Marine military who comes back to work in the police department, and he's kind of like a bad lieutenant. He doesn't do things by the book,
Yeah.
which is basically the premise of Sicario. If you've seen that film, with Benicio del Toro,
Or
and
the movie Bad Lieutenant with Harvey
yeah,
Keitel. Yeah.
Well, that's a good example too. I'm just getting a little bit more up to date as opposed to using that as an example.
We've
But he
saying I'm
does
old,
things
huh?
like that.
Huh?
Huh? He does things. I play the consigliere to Armangara, who was Coco on The Sopranos. A lot of Sopranos. Lou Martini Jr. is on it.
Oh, sure.
A few Sopranos. Artie Pasquale, who was on Sopranos. Genevieve Gervais, he played Gervais, and I forgot his first name, but we
Yeah.
have some Sopranos on in this, and it's a good ensemble. It really is a good ensemble, and it's about. I guess it's made to be like an episodic, and it's going to be on Apple, Netflix, Prime on April 14th. It's going to be
Okay.
viewed on Apple, but they did have some premieres. This is my first one to see Once a Week for Life by George, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I viewed it in Astoria, and he wanted to redo it and make it and tweak it up, so to say. So hopefully, I think I only hear good things about it, so we'll see.
And so this is going to be a screening on the
It's a
10th.
screening, yes. I think he's screening perhaps two episodes,
Okay.
at least one. So we'll see. You know,
All right, perfect. And then you were
yeah.
talking about something with Netflix. And I saw on your social media, you were standing in front of a sign that said you and the
Big
marquee.
Big mistakes.
Big
Yes. You
mistakes.
saw me at
Yes.
the Paris Theater. I never thought I would make it to the Paris Theater, although my part wasn't in there. I have a recurring role on Big Mistakes. And let me tell you, Dan Levy and Taylor Ortega and all the rest of the cast, Guy Narduli, Joe Grafassi, a great character actor, was who we're with. We have a crew. And it's just opens tomorrow on Netflix on April 9th, tomorrow.
Hmm.
And all I can tell the audience is that you're really going to have some great laughs. Dan Levy is stupendous. And Laurie Metcalf, who's on Broadway now in Death of a
Yeah.
Salesman, she plays one of the leads also. She plays his mother. And
Okay.
it's just terrific, Rob. They showed two episodes. The laughter was just so abundant. And of course, the rap party by the big shots at the Russian tea room. First time I was there, the drinks, the service. I told them that the knishes could add a little mustard, but they had these beautiful potato knishes without mustard.
Yeah,
It's
maybe that's not how you're supposed to eat them. Maybe that's
yeah,
not.
no, I guess they don't eat them like that in Russia. They probably got to soak up the alcohol.
Speaking of food and alcohol and just drinks in general, will that be offered at the Bellmore Showplace on April 18th?
I don't believe so. We'll
No.
have to
Okay,
go
so
look
go out,
into
get
it.
something to eat first.
Yes, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be joining Andrew Jedlicka, my business manager from Andrew Frank Group. And we're going to have a little bit of bite to eat somewhere because he lives in Long Island. He said, I want to take you to a place where the speckatini is delicious. I
Oh,
don't
all
know,
right.
you know,
But I'm looking
and maybe,
forward.
you know,
I was going to say
we'll
I'm
go
looking
out.
forward to going and seeing that too because I didn't make it last time, but I did see you guys when you did something in Seaford. I guess about a year and a half ago. It was the same four group of you guys at I think it was the name. I forgot the name of the place. It's the address 2585 or something like that. You guys
I don't
did something.
recall.
Yeah, but you were there and it was great. And the people that come and they're Soprano fans, I highly recommend that you go. You get tickets. You could get it at Eventbrite. Like I said, just search a night with the cast of The Sopranos, Bellmore, Long Island, and it's going to be awesome because you're going to see these people that you saw and you're currently watching. Because you know how many people? One of the guys here, I think you've spoken to him, Jesse. He's like on his fifth rewatch of The Sopranos. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like Jesse that are going to want to come and just get some questions asked, take pictures, get autographs. And it's again going to be April 18th at Bellmore Movies in the Showplace with my buddy Bobby Funaro. And also you can have Jason Serbone, Dan Grimaldi, and Matt Servito, and a very special guest. And it's going to be really awesome. And
Don't say nothing, Omerta.
no,
Don't
no,
say
no, no, I don't say nothing who the special guest is. But before I let you
it.
go, Bobby, anything else that you got coming up besides Bad Mistakes and the
Big
other thing?
mistakes, big
Big Mistakes.
mistakes.
I'm sorry.
Big mistakes is really the biggest thing that I really looking forward to.
What about your budding musical career with Killer Joe? What are we doing with that?
Well, Killer is actually producing and laying down some great tracks. Is the one called 24/7.
Uh-huh.
And JD Salantakos has gone into the mix of producing it and trying to get the song out there.
Oh,
It's a
good.
terrific song. It's in a film that Dan Grimaldi's in, Brooklyn Love Story,
Okay.
with Kate McCarty. She's terrific. I forgot the lead actor's name. I didn't get that part. I didn't audition either. I'm only kidding.
You get it? I ain't
But I
watching
felt that was more from the neighborhood than him. You know what I mean? American. Anyway, no, he's a great actor. I forgot his name. He was great. It was a great story, and Killer loaned the song to them to use, but he decided to remix it
Yeah,
and to really do it up the way he really wanted to do it up with the horns. And he has one of the drummers from Paul McCartney and Wings. I forgot his name. He's a local Long Island guy. I don't know if you know who I'm talking
I
about.
don't
I
know.
don't recall. Anyway, he left Wings, but he did play on their first album, I believe, or maybe did two albums with them, and then I guess he left the group. But listen, really, he's been sending me the tracks, and I've been listening to it. As a matter of fact, after I talk to you, I guess I'll listen to his vocal track. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
why not?
But yeah, why not? So anyway, he's keeping busy. He's at Prost a lot out there in Long Prost out there in Massapequa. I don't know where it is anyway.
Yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
doing good things. You're doing good
yeah,
things, and
yeah.
everything's
But
gonna
I
be.
have no musical talent to be doing, except I like to listen to lyrics and I like to listen to music. It's so associated. Sorry to interrupt you. So
No, no.
associated with acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, you are you, and as you can tell by watching, Bobby's a genuine guy, and you're gonna get the
Thank you.
chance. You're gonna have an awesome time when you meet him and the rest of the crew. Get your tickets because they will sell out. And we look forward to seeing you on April 18th, my man.
24/7. Thank you, Rob. Really appreciate being here and your support.